In this video, I'm going to walk through all of the things that you need to be doing on the wedding day, your duties and responsibilities. Plus, I have a ton of tips that are just going to make it much more enjoyable for you and, more importantly, for the bride. Hey, blushing brides and maids of honor. Welcome back. This is part 3 of my Maid of Honor series. If you missed the first 2 parts, be sure that you go back and watch those. The first one, I walk you through all of your Maid of Honor duties the whole time leading up to the wedding day. The second video is all about bachelorette party planning and everything that goes into that. And today we are talking about all of your wedding day duties. This video is going to be the shortest of the 3 because the majority of your job, it takes place a little bit beforehand throughout the wedding planning process, and then putting together that bachelorette party and the bridal shower and stuff like that. So this one is a little bit quicker, but I am going to go through the checklist of everything that you need to be doing, as well as some tips for you for making the big day amazing for both you and the bride. If you haven't downloaded the Maid of Honor manual and workbook yet, if you haven't watched the other videos and downloaded it, be sure that you do it for this. These checklists are so important and they'll just help you be so prepared for the big day so that it runs smoothly. It's over 60 pages of worksheets and checklists that will guide you through this whole process. So I highly recommend that you just pause the video now and grab that. It's an instant download, so you can just download it and print it and go through it with me as we go along and take your own notes. So I don't have a full checklist for the day before the wedding. I have a wedding day one, but I do have just some suggestions of things that you might want to be doing for the day before the wedding. The first thing that you'll want to check in with the bride on is if she needs help finishing up any of those last minute DIY projects. You'll also want to reach out and see if there are any bridal party or guest issues that you can handle for her. Leading up to the big day, there's so many people texting you just random things that the bride does not need to be answering those questions. It just makes it more overwhelming and stressful for her. So as many of those things that you can take off her plate is going to just help her so much. You might want to double check that the rehearsal dinner reservations are ready to go. Maybe call the restaurant the morning of the rehearsal and just make sure that it's in place and they are ready for you guys and they're gonna have it set up for you. Also ask the bride if there's any decor or anything that you might need to bring to the restaurant that maybe you could drop off and have the servers set up while you're doing the rehearsal. The next thing you'll want to do is text the bridal party and make sure that everyone knows the exact plan for where the rehearsal will be taking place and what time they need to be there, and then also for the rehearsal dinner. Your next job is to help quiet the chit chat during the rehearsal. Everyone comes in and they're super excited to see each other and they're so excited about the wedding that they just start talking. And it will help the bride out so much and the wedding coordinator if you can kind of help hush everybody so that you can focus on getting the rehearsal done. The next thing you'll want to do is I try to get to the rehearsal dinner venue first, just so that you can check and make sure they have it set up and see if there's anything that you need to set up before everyone starts arriving. And then if you're there first, then you can greet the guests as they come in and let them know where they can get a drink, or if there's an appetizer bar, or if the dinner is going to be buffet style, just kind of all the tips for the night that you can give them so that they're not asking the couple these questions. Also let them know if they have any questions, they can come to you, and so that they don't go to the bride and groom. And then your last task here is to obviously enjoy the rehearsal dinner, have so much fun, but kind of keep an eye on everyone. Make sure nobody's drinking too much or getting all crazy and staying out late the night before the wedding. It's good to kind of be hey guys, we need to calm down and go to bed because the next day is a big day. Especially if you're keeping the bride up. We do not need sleepy, tired bride eyes. Everyone needs their beauty sleep. So make sure that everyone is going to bed at a decent hour and not having too much fun the night before. And then for the day of, I do actually have a complete checklist for you, and you might want to print this off and bring it with you, or just screenshot it on your phone. You can screenshot the PDF so that you just have it with you so you can kind of check it throughout the day. The first item I'll just read through it with you and kind of give you tips on how to do each thing. The first item is be the first to wake up. Make sure that you set multiple alarms so that you know that you are going to wake up on time, and that way you can give the bride a nice little wake-up call. You don't want everyone to be sleeping in late and waking up frantic. That's not fun. If everyone can kind of slowly wake up and get up on time, this just starts the day off on the right foot. And also, if you're up early, then you can place the coffee and food orders. I discussed this in the first video, where you're gonna wanna talk to the bride and see what she wants on the big day and already have like the orders and know where you're ordering from. And even like if you need to delegate it and have some of the other bridesmaids run and pick stuff up, you can do that as well. But just have this planned out a month in advance so that you don't have to think about it on the big day. You just place the order and it comes, or have the girls go grab it. And at this time, you'll also want to break out the snacks and just make sure everyone is snacking and drinking water throughout the morning, especially if you are going to be having some mimosas or popping that champagne while you're getting ready. Next, you'll want to review the hair and makeup schedule and make sure that the person who is going first is ready to go for each hair and makeup. I also like to let the girls know, like, hey, so-and-so is up for hair first, but you're right after. And then same with makeup, just so that people don't like leave the room or something and you're trying to chase people down when it's their turn. Just kind of like keep this flowing and make sure that everybody is ready so that when it comes time for them to do the bride's hair and makeup, they're ready on time and they're not gonna make the whole thing late because somebody wasn't there when they were supposed to be. On this note too, if people are doing their own hair and makeup, just kind of keep an eye on the process and make sure that people are actually working on it and getting it done. Make sure there's nobody like sitting around with no hair and makeup on till like 1 hour before you're supposed to leave. Everyone should be like working on this throughout the day. So you'll want to make sure everyone's dresses are steamed. As part of the wedding day survival kit checklist, I do have a steamer. So make sure that you bring one of those. You don't want anybody showing up with a wrinkly dress. And then make sure they're hung up nicely, like they're not just thrown on the bed or something. It's nice to have them all hung up. This also makes for super cute photos. Also double check that everyone has their shoes and accessories, including the bride. You may also want to check on the bride's veil and see if it needs any steaming as well. It will be your job to deliver notes and gifts between the couple if they are doing that. So go drop by the groomsmen suite, make sure everything is good in there. I like to kind of keep an eye on them as well throughout the day, make sure they're not getting too crazy. And this is also a good excuse to make sure everyone's awake and getting ready. But stop by, drop off the bride's gift, and then get the gift from the groom to the bride so that you can bring it back to her. If they are doing this, make sure that either the photographer is present for when they're opening it, or you and one of the groomsmen are taking videos of this, because it's like a really special moment on the big day. And if there's not somebody there to capture it, then make sure that you are capturing it for them. The next to-do item is to just have fun and relax and hang out with your BFFs and get ready for the big day. You want to be like swapping silly stories and just hanging out and having that smooth, easy conversation that will help distract the bride if she's feeling super stressed and overwhelmed. Just want to swap silly stories and reminisce and keep her like calm and connected for the big day. Another one of your tasks on this day is to be on drink patrol. I know it's like not that much fun and it sucks to be the buzzkill, but somebody's got to do it, especially if somebody's just taking it way too far while you're getting ready. You might want to also keep an eye on the bride. If she's super nervous and like knocking them back, you might want to be like, hey, let's like switch to something else, because you don't want anyone to be like just gone by the time the ceremony starts. Just keep an eye on that. And like I said, you might want to keep kind of an eye on the groomsmen as well if possible. If it's too much, that's fine, but sometimes the groomsmen are like getting crazy. You want to make sure you get the ring. Usually you'll hold the ring for the groom and the best man will hold the ring for the bride. The bride's ring. You'll hold the groom's ring and the best man will hold the bride's ring. But you might want to do it where they hold both or you hold both, depending on if somebody's a little bit more responsible. And it might be easier for the groomsmen because they usually have pockets. So just kind of like figure out the logistics on this beforehand and make sure you have the rings for the ceremony so you're not like up there and then you remember at the last moment. You don't want to do that. And then you'll just kind of help with the final finishing touches of getting ready, grab your wedding day survival kit that you already put together and head to the venue, and make sure everyone else is heading to the venue as well. You want to try to keep everyone on time as much as possible here. And then check in with the best man and make sure that they're on their way to the venue when they're supposed to be as well. Also check in before you guys leave, like you don't want to be leaving at the same time and the bride and the groom run into each other. Just kind of try to stay in contact, get the best man's number so that you can text, and kind of make sure that you're not leaving at the same time, but that everyone is getting to the venue on time. And that is it for all of the things that are going to be happening leading up to the ceremony. You'll obviously go through what you're supposed to be doing for the ceremony, who you're supposed to be walking with and everything during the rehearsal. And then just kind of throughout the night, you'll have a few duties here and there. The big one is after the ceremony, making sure that you bustle the dress. When you go dress shopping for the dress, you'll see it the first time how it bustles there. But it's also great to attend the last fitting and video tape the person showing you how to bustle the dress so that you can look back to that if you need to. I like to have at least 2 people who know how to do this, and just know when you're supposed to be doing that. You'll bustle the dress, maybe help the bride go to the bathroom, things like that. And then in your survival kit, you'll have some touch-up makeup as well that you can help with if you need to like touch up her eye makeup after the ceremony, or you can also carry her lip color for her as well. Your wedding day duties are just really to help support the bride and making sure that she's having the best time possible. If anything is stressing her out, or if there's anything you can do for her, just make sure that you're there for her and supporting her on her big day. So if you haven't already, be sure you go grab the Maid of Honor manual and workbook. You need all of these checklists just for the day of, but like even more importantly, all the stuff leading up to it. It just kind of lets you know everything that you can be doing and helps keep you organized so that you can help keep the bride organized and not stressed. It just makes it such a better experience for everyone having an amazing Maid of Honor, which you are going to be because you just watched this whole series. So have so much fun. Be sure that you're really taking it all in and enjoying the day and doing your best to help the bride do that as well. I'm so happy to have had you here. This was so fun. Go grab the Maid of Honor manual and have an amazing time.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feel